Welcome to Friesen Art. Today we are making an altered portrait in the Halloween style. And so you can see this example right here, we've got a head cut out, then we've drawn a body, and then we've also got some lines going on here. So we've got some shape and some line. Here's another one, a poncho, Sancho poncho going on, and then here's another beauty of a little tuxedo, James Bond style perhaps. So number one, you're gonna take a picture. You're gonna find a picture of somebody. You can use yourself. That works out really nicely, but you can use another photo if you want. Step number two is heading over to Pixlr, or you might use Photoshop. You might be on a tablet using some kind of drawing app. Anything is good. This is the default because it is free and easy to use. And so once you have your picture, you're gonna click on Pixlr E, and you can just drag and drop your photo in there. Ba-ding! So here we go. Here's my photo. And so what we want to do first is we want to get the head isolated. We just want the head. We're going to get rid of everything else and then build our costume behind that. So if you're looking at the layers over here with me, then you can see it's locked. So I'm going to click on the lock. Now it's unlocked. Pretty easy. Now to cut out the head, you could use a couple things. You could erase the background all the way around except for the head. That takes a little time. You can also use a lasso. Lassos work awesome. This one is a free-form lasso, so you have to kind of hand do it, which can be good if you're steady, but it's not always the best option if you're using a mouse. I think most people will be using a mouse, so feel free to use the polygon lasso. This is great. So as usual, we want to make things easy on ourselves. So let's zoom in. Ugh, not that far. Okay, perfect. Now we're there. Now we'll head over to the lasso. Now you can use the free lasso, which it's free form, so you have to kind of hand draw, which can be tough if you're using a mouse. If you're on a tablet, that works great. But the polygon lasso is fantastic. Check this out. I'm going to click. Each time I click, it puts down an anchor point. And so I can go around this hair really easily. And then also, you can edit things out. So if you don't want a piece of hair, a chunk of hair that's there, don't worry. Just cut that. I'm not going to do that one. Forget that. Going around the chin, getting nice and tight, making sure I am getting close so that it looks good. And once again, I'm not going to do all this hair. I'm just going to get most of it. And it'll be all right. So here we go, clicking, clicking, clicking. You can reshape the hair or the head in any which way you want. You can alter it. That's what the altered portrait is all about. Once I get to the end, I'm getting the marching ants. So it says, I've got this selected. And once again, I'm on this layer, so I'm in the proper layer. And now all I have to do is copy and paste. So Command or Control, holding that down, and then tapping C, and then tapping V to paste. Now you can see it kind of, another one jumped on top. And so our background photo actually didn't touch it. So I'm going to turn that off. And now we can see the layer with just the head. Perfect. Look at that. So now if I use the Select tool, this little arrow, I can rotate it if I want to. I'll put the head up a little bit more, I think, and I'm going to make it a bit smaller. So this is the main step, step one, okay? Step two, making the costume. So now what you want to do is think about what kind of costume do you want to wear, or do you want this person to wear? I'm going to work on a different layer. So I'm going to go over to the layers panel and hit this plus sign and go empty, because I just want an empty layer. And actually, you know what? I'm going to create another one because some people really like a color behind them so they can really see what's going on. So I'm going to make just a color background, and I'm going to make it orange for the season. I'll make it kind of dark orange, darkish orange. Boom, there we go. And I'll grab the fill tool or the paint bucket and drop that in there. Perfect. Okay, now the head stands out a little bit more. I'm going to go to this middle layer underneath the head so that now I can start making a body for this. Okay, so once again, you have some options. So you could use a paintbrush to do this, to draw on a body if you want to. Some of you that aren't experienced with drawing on the computer might want to stick with the polygon lasso. It's really, really good. So check this out. Let's make this a Sasquatch one. This person's got a lot of hair, which looks great, and let's give more hair. So right now I'm just going to draw with a lasso. So just clicking, putting down points. And what I'm going to do in the end is I'm going to fill this with color. So it'll be like a color shape, a color block, and it will work really nicely to use this lasso and then put some lines on top if I want. I'm going to make a hand too. I'm going to have like an open hand here. So you may have to take a few runs at it because you do have to do it all in one go for a lasso, but that's good. You can always go back if you need to. There we go. I made a body shape. I've selected that area. I'm in this middle layer with nothing on it, so that's perfect. And now I want to give kind of like a dark brown fur, I think. Go okay. And then finally we'll grab the fill or the bucket and drop it in there. Boom. Excellent. So now we have the color shape. I'm going to hold down Command or Control and hit D for deselect. There we go. So now I've got the makings. My final step for this one is going to be, I'm going to add another layer just in case I mess up. I'm going to put that on top of the body, but underneath the face. And now I can paint in or draw in some hair, make some texture. For that, I want the hair to stand out. So I'm going to make it a nice contrast from the dark brown. So here's the brown that I just used. Here's the lighter color of brown that I want to use on the lines. So to paint some lines or to draw some lines, you can go to the brush. This brush looks like it's soft right now. I don't want the soft edges. I want a hard line. And I want a smaller brush as well. So I'm going to drag that down and I'm just going to check it. That seems good. Okay, awesome. I'm going to go Command Z. Now, once again, let's zoom in, make this easy. And for the hair, I think I'm just going to go randomly around and just draw some long tendrils of hair, make it really shaggy. And I'm just going to build up that surface. I could do shorter lines, I could do longer lines, it just all depends on what you like. I'm going to draw in a bit of a hand on this one as well. There we go, so it doesn't look handless. Of course, I'm doing this rather quickly so that I'm not making you sit here and just watch me draw forever, because this could take, depending on how much time you want to spend on this thing, it could take an hour to do this. It could also take, the length of this video could take 7, 10, 15 minutes, something like that is probably going to be the average for most people. So I'm just keeping going, putting some shaggy hair. I put that one right on top of the other one. That was really interesting. Gonna keep going. I can also draw some feet in here also if I want to. Add some big feet. I'm gonna go 3 toes on this thing. And so making this costume, thinking about any details, because you could go further, right? I could not stop here. I could add a mask, or I could add a hat. I could add a piece of clothing that would go over top of this stuff too. But I've got the basic project here done. I've got the head cut out. I've made a costume underneath, and the sky is the limit after this. So hopefully you have a good time making this thing, and good luck.